Welcome back, fellow enemies of the fire. We are here to do what's supposed to be the fun part of the show. Talk about the Chicago Fire. We all wore red for the occasion. Gentlemen, how do we feel after this past weekend where the Fire were down 2-0 for quite a long time and came back to tie that game? Did you guys watch it?
I watched it. I didn't watch it, but let me bring my 2 cents into it before you guys who watched it actually, can make some sense out of it all. I have this to wonder. If you are an honest-to-God MLS team that's letting the Fire tie or beat you, then you have no business in winning the MLS Cup. So what that proved to me is New York is not a true contender. They are a pretender for the MLS Cup once playoffs comes around. Start watching what teams beat the Fire and what teams fail against the Fire and flounder. Those are that'll sort out the pretenders versus the real players, and bet on those real players.
Listen to you, money mindset motherfucker.
I don't offer.
What I'll say is, I think the Fire and Frank Klopas in general tend to play to their competition. So when we play a San Jose, we look like utter, unbelievable garbage and we lose. We play a Columbus and we play them tight. They're a
vibes team. You're saying they're a vibes team.
Well, not even a vibes. They just play to their competition.
Mm-hmm. Or they beat the competition. It was tough.
And surprising. We are a point away from the playoffs, and I feel
so is the whole rest of the conference.
That's the thing.
Rest of the conference is in fact 3 points out. Basically, either you're in the playoffs or you're 3 points out in the entire Eastern Conference. However, the Western Conference, there are a couple teams that are basically out.
Well, the East is kind of the haves and the have-nots, right? There's a big disparity between the top and the bottom, but a lot of people are crammed up at the bottom.
You have a team that has 50-something points, and then the bottom is like everybody has 26, 27 points.
I mean, should we not say Miami is a pretty gosh darn good team?
56 points. They're leading all of MLS. They're number one in the league. The second place team behind them is in the Western Conference. That's LA Galaxy with 52 points.
And Michael Royce that still exists.
Wow. Well, he exists. Yeah, like Messi, who's currently not.
Oh, my God. Well, Messi, so I guess we're burying the lead, right? We're taking our time. It's Messi week, everybody. I mean, wait. So Miami is coming to Soldier Field, which is highly talked about, highly anticipated. But Messi has been hurt since the Copa America final, which when it happened, I really was like, it'll be okay. This is fine. He'll be better in time, which apparently he's not. So are we excited? Like, James, you actually took me to this game last season.
It was fun.
I had a blast. And like my girl she's like, no Messi, whatever, I'm backing out. So I asked my buddy if he wanted to come. He goes, well, can you guarantee me that Luis Suarez is going to bite somebody? I said, well, the best I can do is I can tell you this. There's not a 0% chance.
There's not a 0%
There's a greater than 0% chance.
So you're saying there is a chance.
Exactly. But no, I'm pretty psyched to see Busquets. I'm pretty psyched to see Suarez and Jordi Alba and the other people. I don't know who else is on. I'm trying to remember who else is on the team. No, they've got some pretty decent players, to be perfectly honest with you. It's just, they're not named Busquets and Suarez and shit. You don't notice all the time.
Oh, Yedlin? Are you talking about?
Oh my God, Yedlin's gone, dude. They played Yedlin last week.
What?
Yedlin went to Nashville. Yeah,
that's right. We covered that.
Listen, you guys think I like Jordan Morris?
Calendar.
I love DeAndre Yedlin.
Busquets is playing center back.
I mean, if he's playing center back, he's playing Franz Beckenbauer soccer because he's still pulling the strings. There's no seriously.
Jordi Alba's playing like left midfield.
Sounds sexy. I mean, he was a winger at times for that Spanish team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Miami's there's no Shaq this year to show up big in a big game. what do we think on the field first? Do we think the Fire are going to compete? Do you think the Fire are going to win? Do you think the Fire are going to get embarrassed? What do we think?
Without Shaq, there's no fire in this team that's going to push this team over the edge to make that happen. I don't see that happening.
But you just mentioned earlier that this Fire team plays through the competition, so it might be a tight game,
Right.
I mean, one thing is beating Miami last year 4-1. Well, it'll be a whole different story if they beat Miami 4-1 this year.
Here's the thing about the statement win that was Miami last year. They didn't fucking make the playoffs.
No, they didn't follow up with anything. In fact, they kind of shit the bed the next two games.
And then this year, they still have the opportunity to make the playoffs.
There's three straight home games here. So how many points do we get out of these three games, starting with Miami? I mean, a logical team would want 7. A crazy person wants 9. And what we will probably get is 2. No, I mean, in all seriousness, we'll probably get 4. We'll probably beat Miami and then get our asses kicked the next game and then tie the following.
8 games left in the season.
Can I say something? As much as I love this team, which I do somehow, for some reason, I kind of don't want them to make the playoffs because I feel like if they do, it's just like, wow, well, MLS sucks.
I hope they do. Because
this team has...
Because that'd be the biggest FU by Frank to everyone who discounted him.
Yeah, but come on. The points total is lower than last season. Mm-hmm. They could still make the playoffs and have a lower point total than last season. You know what I'm saying? That's where that,
there's
that's
no
not
asterisk, though. There wouldn't be an asterisk on their playoffs. It still show made the playoffs. I have a couple questions.
That doesn't feel right to me, man. That feels dirty.
You know what doesn't feel dirty? GGG. Greg Berhalter rumored to becoming the next Chicago Fire head coach. There's some rumors passing through the windmill. You heard on the rumor mill. So what do we have here about Greg and Chicago Fire?
Honestly, we talked about this last week. I'm terrified they're going to let him have full control.
Terrified of that.
I don't want him signing players. I want Greg coaching the team. Give me somebody else signing players.
Would you rather take another incompetent GM, or would you rather let Greg Berhalter kind of run it for you?
Exactly.
I don't know, man. When you say
no question, Greg.
Greg? What do you mean, no question? Has he ever shown he can sign players?
He ran U.S. soccer. He ran it.
How many players did he sign for U.S.?
He got a few over the line. He's the one who landed.
Balogun got over the line. Mr. I didn't get off the bench this weekend. Balogun.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit.
DPG, you okay? Yeah, I think I'm kicking something, and I think I must have turned on one of my kids' toys. I hear in the background. I'm like,
no, that's Toke's microphone. Whenever he moves it.
No, that's not it. That's not it. No.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, James? Do you really want him to be GM?
Yes. I do. I'd rather have him be GM than any name out there that I know of right now, not named Tim Bezic.
And don't forget Garth Lagerway.
Yeah, and Garth Lagerway. Well,
he just signed a deal, right?
I'm just saying that this guy knows he's gonna know what he wants. He amongst all the coaches in MLS, did Bruce Arena need a GM once you signed Bruce Arena? No, you didn't.
I think Bruce Arena's gonna take anybody's word besides the guy that owns the team.
And when you signed,
okay, hold on though. Look at that New England team that
when you signed Bradley, did you need to GM him? No, you just let Bradley do it. Basically, let him hire his guy. I feel like Greg's earned that respect.
I do not. Not the way that we pitchforked and fucking torched him out of the U.S. job.
We can do worse than Greg Berhalter.
You're not wrong.
Mm-hmm. There's 2 things could happen here.
Veljko Paunovic could show back up.
Don't bring the soup guy.
Oh God!
two things: either
I'd
Greg
love a Bronco
Berhalter
round
turns this team around for the better, or he goes the way of Jason Christ and goes down in obscurity.
Yeah, but like, dude, we have been suffering for 10 fucking years. Dude, like, I can't have Greg Berhalter ride off into the sunset off the back of us sucking for 3 years.
So keep in mind, Cubs fans had to suffer for like over 100 years. And
oh my God, don't I am a Cubs fan. Don't make me do that from birth until a couple years ago, and then and then the Cubs winning put us on the worst timeline
Brian
ever.
Schmetzer's not walking through this door. His team's making the playoffs, so we can discount him. And best guy out there, Greg Berhalter.
Hold on, what about this mind fuck? Greg Berhalter GM, and then he hires a coach.
Oh. And he hires Ante Razov.
Oh,
wait, where is Ante right now?
I think LAFC.
He ain't giving up a California job
For Chicago.
Well, I mean,
for those Chicago
sometimes
dogs.
the allure of the man.
I mean, the guy isn't the guy originally from Southern California, anyway. So
he's
it's
from
like,
California, yeah.
Yeah, so why would he give up his hometown or whatever to move to here?
Man, sometimes that head coaching gig.
He excelled out here. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, that is true.
I was gonna ask you guys this though. Do you guys think the Fire are better with or without Shaq? We briefly touched on it.
Without.
You know what's funny is the problem is I think the eye test they played better with him, but the results did not also follow. And he just didn't have enough around him, man. I
feel like
man.
when they were on, they were more dangerous with him in the lineup. When they're with him out of the lineup, I feel like they are, no matter what, they're less dangerous. However, they're also less vulnerable.
Well, let's talk about this though.
That's what Shaq made you. He made you vulnerable.
Yeah, there's a big hole in the center, but you
Right.
talked about not having that killer bite. Can we just, for a second, give him his flowers for the goal and also give him his flowers? Hugo Kuipers is a double-digit goal scorer in MLS year one. Year one, let's not pretend like sometimes these European guys don't have trouble getting acclimated to the league year one.
That is true. That is true. You got a point.
And so, like, I mean, I feel like he's got at least 2 more in him, right? And I'll take a 12-goal season out of him, especially on a bad team. You know what I mean? Let's put it this way. If he scores more than 12 goals, they make the playoffs and it's no longer considered a bad team, right? There's no way he scores more than 12 and they don't make the playoffs.
You want to know who else has more than 10 goals? And the names might surprise you.
Okay.
Well, Leo Messi.
Duh.
12 goals.
Okay, no
Cucho
kidding.
Hernandez, 13 goals. Luis Suarez, 14 goals.
So are you telling me that Hugo Kuipers is only a few goals away from matching those guys?
Wait for it.
Yep.
Christian Benteke, 17 goals.
Well, maybe not that guy.
Jordan Morris, 10 goals. And Georgi Mihailovic, 10 goals.
No, there is no way Georgie's got 10 goals.
10 goals in 21 appearances.
Well, see, there you have it, though. There you have it. Georgie's issue was always that he was inconsistent. Half the time he looked lost, and half the time he could be killer.
He's scoring more goals per game than let's see, than Navarro, Luciano Acosta, Hugo Kuipers. He's got a better goal per game output than Hugo Kuipers.
Well, he played less games because he went
10.
to the Olympics. He went to the Olympics and sucked it up.
So he did more with less, is what you're saying.
I mean, he did, but then he played so poorly in the Olympics. Isn't that wild? Like, he really did. He was one of the worst players on the team, and then you come back to MLS, he's killing it. Where is Colorado in the standings even?
This stat is insane. The league leader of assists.
It's gotta be Messi still.
It's in the stat is absolutely bonkers. I wonder if this is some sort of record or if it's going to be soon. Luciano Acosta. How many assists do you think he has in 25 games played?
11.
It's astounding. Not 11.
I say
more.
Not 11? Ooh. 15.
Dramatically more.
22.
19.
Okay.
19 assists in 25 games. The next closest is Evander with 13 and 21. 13 assists is the next closest to 19 from Lucho Acosta. That's crazy.
Well, it's good to see Evander still doing good things, to be perfectly honest. I'm happy to see that wasn't a bust. But can I tell you this? I'm pretty sure it might still be true that Luciano Acosta was involved in every single goal that team has scored.
Lucho Acosta has 11 goals
and
plus his
19
assists. So he has 30 goals accounted for in all
Which
of
is
MLS.
Insane.
In 25 games. This guy is a goal-creating machine.
Now,
I was saying that Cucho's the best player in the league. It's Lucho. It's Luciano Acosta and then Cucho. Cucho might. So
why don't we sell our young number 10 and let him do his European dream and just give Cincinnati whatever they want for Lucho Acosta, whatever.
Cucho, comparatively, Cucho has 21 goals combined. Goals for with assists and goals, so that's 21 points compared to 30. That is insane.
That's actually, and don't forget he was suspended for a hot minute for what we still don't know what for.
All right, because
remember
Messi's 12 goals in 12 games.
Okay.
Wow,
oh, that's good. Damn,
that's crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
Let me see what his assists are. Oh, he's got 13 assists in 12 games. So got
25 goals in 12 games accounted for.
25 goals created within 12 games. So next closest guy is Lucho Acosta with 30. Holy shenanigans.
That's crazy. Like, this is why people what did I forget what I sent you guys.
Gressel with 12 assists.
Everybody wants to talk shit about MLS. You know what I mean? Like, every time there's some crappy play, they slap it on the internet like, this is only happens in MLS. And then we saw what the fuck Everton was doing last weekend. You know what I mean? Like, come on. That shit happens everywhere. It goes to show you there's some good performances. And finally, unlike in the old days, people you expect and count on and paid to do that are doing it. Messi, Lucio Acosta. Back in the day, it was just you'd pay Christian
Dennis Bouanga. He's got 25 goals combined, 25 points.
Oh, that's
16
wild.
goals and 9 assists, so he's up there too.
Back in the day, you'd pay Christian Gomez a bunch of money because he won an MVP, and then he'd fall off the planet. Or David Fiera, or the guy from what was the guy's name in Dallas? Davi Fiera, something like that. But these guys who would have one huge season and then just disappear, and then you'd never know who was going to be good. Now, finally, you're paying Messi. He's actually really good. You pay Bouanga. He's good. You pay Lucio Acosta. He's really good. Like, these guys aren't flopping like they used to. You know what I mean? Not on the field, but like the deals, the contracts, they're not flops anymore, which is just exciting. Like, Major League Soccer is getting exciting, but even in the salary cap league, you see the haves and have-nots. And when we talk about have and have-not, it's not money, it's brains.
You guys heard of Evander?
Yes, Evander. Yes.
He's got 25 goals accounted or points combined also in 21 games. Evander's crazy.
If I'm not mistaken, Portland is not that good of a team this year, and he's kind of all they got going on.
Well, he is all they got. He's amazing.
Yeah, Evander was, again, he was one of those guys that came in and had that rough first season or first half of the season, and then finally got his feet under him.
Whoa.
And now he's playing.
Have you heard of Gabriel Peck?
I have heard about Gabriel Peck.
LA Galaxy. He's got 10 goals, 10 assists.
LA is back, baby. I'm pretty sure we were one of the first people on the internet to be talking about how the LA Galaxy were not going to be terrible this year.
Georgie's got 10 goals and 8 assists.
8 assists is doing a lot of heavy lifting too,
18.
man. So wait, bring up the standings. Where's Colorado? I don't want to touch anything on my computer for fear that it will melt.
It will.
It will. Yeah, it will.
Let's go to MLS table. And you want to see where the Colorado. They're in fourth place with 41 points.
They're in fourth place?
They're just behind Real Salt Lake, who sold their stud striker recently. LA Galaxy's in first, LAFC's in second, Real Salt Lake in third, Colorado in fourth. Seattle Sounders have crawled back. They're in fifth place. Vancouver in sixth, Portland in seventh, Houston Dynamo in eighth. Austin FC has crawled back into contention. They're in ninth right now. FC Dallas still has a shot. Minnesota still has a shot. Sporting Kansas is falling farther behind. St. Louis is basically done. And San Jose is they're still recovering from the earthquake.
Did you guys see Paul Areola and Sebastian Lletget both scored this weekend?
Really?
Yeah. Dallas put like 5 on whoever they were playing over the weekend. But that's wild because I remember at the beginning of the season, Colorado was struggling and we were like, oh, thank God we didn't get Georgie. And it was like, oh man, didn't want Chris Armas. And now they're in fourth place, rocking and rolling, man. How do you feel about
you should have let Chris Armas manage the team.
Wish we got both of them.
Well,
you guys really want Chris Armas?
You know what? We have the smartest GM, so I mean,
he's in the playoffs solidly with Colorado's lineup.
Or better yet, Colorado's pockets.
Right.
Let's take a look at their lineup that they recently played. They got Navarro up front, Jonathan Lewis on the left, Mihailovic. They got a guy named Moso over on the right. I think I was just talking about him. Bassett, Ronan, not the type of Ronan you find in Japan. Sam Vines.
Oh, shit. Sam Vines.
Abu Bakar and Maxo as their center backs, and Keegan Rosenberry is their right back. Zach Steffen.
Oh, Keegan Rosenberry's pretty good, and Abu Bakar is pretty good. Zach Steffen having a renaissance, baby. Zach Steffen dancing on Matt Turner's grave. Zach Steffen been stabbing that Matt Turner voodoo.
Rafael Navarro is their striker.
I mean, good for him.
He's brand new. He moved there on June 27th.
I apologize. I've been not paying attention to the West like that. I can't believe that Colorado, like, here I am on my high horse, like Chris motherfucking Armas, and I didn't want Georgie. We had Shaq, and now look at us. Maybe I should just shut up and accept Greg Berhalter into my heart.
Dude, he's going to be great if we ever get if we get him. I'm at this point, I'm not so sure.
You don't think so? Like, who the hell else could we possibly be getting? Like, are
someone horrible, of course.
I mean, well,
they're gonna pull like the second assistant. Right? They're gonna pull the second assistant from Lugano to coach the Fire.
Oh God, no!
They're gonna find Edner's assistant.
Oh, what was his name? I forgot his name.
That's who they're gonna hire.
I forgot his.
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna fire Frank. They're gonna keep what's his face is the assistant right now.
Nagamura.
They'll keep him. Done deal.
No way. You can't. Oh my God. Oh my God. You want to know what the worst possible timeline is? This is the worst possible thing that happened. Garrick Height steps away. Frank Klopas becomes GM and Nagamura becomes coach.
No, don't say that. Don't say that, please.
Why does that instill this person with hopelessness?
I
said that way too late at night. I'm gonna have nightmares now.
Frank makes the playoffs.
I think that's enough time. I think we had enough fire talk, man. Now we're talking crazy.
All right, guys.